Hi, it's Jacqueline, your favorite tutor. I thought I would make another video about how to deal with the upcoming school year if you are doing virtual learning with your students, and just additional support if you need it. It's going to be kind of similar to the one I did last time, but I'm adding some more stuff to it. So the number one thing is that teachers are struggling right now. It's a lot's been put on our teachers. It's really, 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 really hard. They're not given straight answers all the time. A lot of decisions were being made that they didn't always ask teachers. So the best thing you can do is give your teachers a little bit of grace at this point, or at all points, or forever, because teachers deserve it. But I digress. So at the beginning of all of this, if you can do your best to build a strong, open road of communication with them, that will make all the difference. A lot of teachers if they're working remotely, they're still having to be in buildings. Their jobs are in limbo right now too. So that would be number one, is make sure that you're developing a strong relationship with your teachers and that you have open lines of communication. The second thing, I made a list this time. I mentioned this last time, is creating a learning space. So if you can get a desk, something that is different, even if it's a nook in the corner somewhere, something that is like, this is our learning space, and that's all that happens in that. They don't color there later, they don't hang out on their iPads there later. It is only for school. That will get them associating a certain space with learning. Again, that's why schools work, is because kids walk into them. Even not even just kids, adults walk into learning spaces. So the learning space is important. If you want to get a hat or a necklace or a bracelet or something that's like, this is our learning time, that will differentiate between being at school, doing schoolwork, and then just being at home, and you keep it close to them. I think I've mentioned this. I had a little girl who I helped homeschool kindergarten last fall, and she had a necklace, and I would always be like, okay, go get your tutoring necklace. And then she had some little toys that she set up, and she knew that that was her, her tutoring stuff, and it kind of helped shift things for her. So I recommend that a lot. Number three, if you can find somebody to help you, oh my gosh, do it, because it will take the load off of you as parents, and it will it'll shift their brains. Again, somebody new's coming in, so I know that it's time to learn. I have a list of, I think at this moment, 15 pre-service teachers that are willing to do tutoring virtually. They're also willing to drive. If you want access to that, please private message me, or drop a message down below. I'll need your email address. I'll have you fill out a quick survey, and then I'll give you access. If there's anybody out there who wants to be on the tutoring list and help, that would be great too. Most of the people on the list at the moment are pre-service teachers. I have one person who is a certified teacher on there too. So if you want on either list, if you want on the parent list, let me know. If you want on the student list, let me know. My job right now is just building bridges. I'm not, advertising for myself or anything. I'm just helping people find what they need. Lastly, the most important thing, and this is where it's going to get hard, is having realistic expectations of what's going to happen in your home. So this is especially important if you have small people in elementary school, because they're at school for what, 8 hours, right? I never taught elementary. I subbed elementary. I've worked one-on-one with elementary. But there's a lot of transitions in elementary. It is not just sitting and doing work for 2 or 3 or 4 hours. They work on one subject, then they have a transition, and they might go outside, or they go to art class, or they go to PE, and then they switch again. And then they have 45 minutes in this, and then they switch again. There's a lot of movement in elementary school. So much movement. So this idea that if we just sit for 4 hours, we're going to get it all done, that's not what they're used to. So just have realistic expectations of what this is going to look like in terms of the academic of it. Middle school and high school, it's going to be a little different. They're probably going to be sitting for longer stretches of time. But again, if you think about school as a place where learning happens, okay, sometimes that looks like listening. Okay, sometimes that looks like listening, sitting, Sometimes that looks like reading. That doesn't always look like pencil to paper. So understanding and being realistic about what this is going to look like. Just because your kid is at school for 8 hours a day doesn't mean they're going to be doing 8 hours of work at home. Those two things don't translate. So depending on the age will depend on what this looks like. And so realistically speaking, I mean, having kids, I mean, middle schoolers sit for 45 minutes to 50 minutes and then they move. And during that time, they move anyway. They will tell teachers in teacher school to make your students move 3 or 4 times. Kids need to move. Them just sitting and working is not a thing. Just like adults sitting and working isn't a thing. You get up, you go to the bathroom, you get a drink. Allow them that kind of movement also because they're not used to it. So those are just some things to think about. And then also, if you are looking for a tutor or somebody to come in to help, I know a lot of people are forming like pods and homeschooling groups, which are super, super cool. Just be realistic about what you expect from them and communicate with that with them. You might have it think it's going to look like a certain way, and they might come and go, this isn't going to work because of this, this, and this. So make sure that whatever you have in your mind is open to be flexible because it's going to need to be flexible because we've never done this before. Nobody has done this before. This is brand new, okay, for everybody. So any expectations of levels of learning, amounts of learning, know that it's probably going to not be what you think it's going to be, but that doesn't mean it's not going to work. Just make sure that whomever you're working with, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a tutor, whether it's grandma, whoever, that there's open lines of communication about what is expected. Lastly, the most important thing is to breathe because it'll all be okay. And there are a lot of people out there that are wanting to help and support you. So let me know if there's anything I can do. I'm, again, compiling lists of parents who need things, a compiling list of people and tutors who are wanting to help. So whatever it is that you need, let me know. I'll do my best, or I will point you in the right direction. So good luck. I believe in all of you.